right, guys, here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about guns, tactics, and we can't talk about that until we learn safety. So I'm going to go over each one of these guns. The biggest thing here is you got to learn safety, because when you're using these guns as a team, right, you don't want to shoot each other. You don't want to cause harm to somebody you don't intend to. Okay, so I'm going to go through each one of these guns. Anybody here ever fire a weapon? Okay, a couple people. All right. So one thing you got to learn right off the bat about guns is a gun itself is not going to hurt anybody. You're going to be the person that's going to administer that damage. Okay, so you got to respect guns. So I'm going to give you 4 basic rules, okay, to live by from here forward in the rest of your lives. Okay, you can do this in your own home. You should be practicing at all times. Okay, rule number 1: treat all guns as though they're loaded. Right? Can you say it?
Treat all guns as though they're loaded.
Okay. Anybody know why we might want to use that as a rule number 1?
Just in case it's loaded.
Right. If I sit there and I go, oh, here you go, take this weapon, it's unloaded. You're going to treat it as though it is loaded. Okay? That's why it's first rule. Second rule, and you'll see that all these rules sort of build on each other. Okay? Second rule is going to be always point your gun in safe direction.
Always point your gun in safe direction.
What direction is my gun pointed now?
Down.
Right. Safe direction. I can talk to you and this gun doesn't move. You'll see people and they'll be waving it around like it's, that's no good. Okay? Always point your gun in safe direction. Rule number 3. Never point your gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. Never point your gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. Okay, why do we say that? Right. The whole purpose of this thing is to shoot something. Okay? It can be a someone or a something. So we want to make sure when we cover down, when my barrel is covering something, that I intend to shoot it. Okay? It could be a target, it could be a zombie, it could be another human being, it could be an animal, it could be anything. Okay? And rule number 4, this is one of the most important ones: keep your finger off the trigger until the decision has been made to shoot. Okay?
Keep your finger off the trigger until the decision has been made to shoot.
All right. So you guys got it?
Yeah.
Feel comfortable with it? Okay, so we're going to move to the next part, the weapon itself, or gun. Each gun is unique. All of you have to learn your gun like it's your own body part. There's a reason for that. Usually when we use guns, it's under extreme conditions. Okay? Unless you're at the target range, having fun, BSing with your friends, you might be in a very tense situation. I normally bring a picture of a famous situation back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, which was Elian Gonzalez. Anybody remember that? Yes. Okay, so that was a little kid, 5 years old. It was an immigration issue. We won't get into that. But anyway, Border Patrol decided they're going to storm the house and basically extricate this kid out of the house by force. And there's a famous picture of the officer in the room with little Elian Gonzalez and a male, and his finger is alongside the trigger guard, just like that. That's discipline. That's safety. Okay? He wasn't going to jeopardize anybody's life doing that. You guys got to think the same way from here on out. All right? So each one of these guns is a little bit different. We're going to go over them. I'm going to hand them to you guys. I know there's going to be a lot of confusion of where to point the thing, because I just went over to which rule talks about the barrel. Rule number 2. Point your gun always in a safe direction. Okay? For our purposes, try to do your best with that. Okay? All right. Each gun is a little bit different. This particular gun I'm happy to be familiar with. You have a magazine. Okay, this actually holds the bullets. That goes in the gun like that. You're going to charge the weapon. Most weapons, they either have a charging handle or this is a slide. Weapons in battery. That's the term you use. Okay? Now your weapon's ready to rock. You're ready to go. You're going to enter any type of scenario. Okay? You want to make sure your weapon is ready to go. You don't want to show up to game day with a bullet not in the chamber. Okay, bad situation. You'll know the first time you try to pull the trigger and nothing happens. Okay, if that happens, what can you do? Put yourself in battery. Okay, make sure that the magazine is seated into the weapon. All right. Any questions so far? We're going to move quick. Yeah. Okay. Other type of weapon. This here is an automatic weapon. Okay, these are handguns, and you have shotguns, and you have rifles. It might be a sniper rifle or something like that. This here would be deemed, quote unquote, an assault weapon. You've probably heard that in the news. Okay, the reason for that is because you have a magazine that has lots of bullets in it. Okay, put this weapon into battery, and you're ready to roll. It has two features, which is semi-automatic, which means every time I pull the trigger, you get one bang. I go full automatic, I pull the trigger, it goes out until I tell it to stop or it runs out. Okay? And we'll talk about in tactics which one you use for when. Any questions? Good, let's go. I'm going to hand you a gun. Okay? There you go. Don't be afraid, it's your friend. No? Okay. I'm not advocating the use of guns, but I'm going to use this one for now. Okay, so any questions so far on how we're going to get our gun into battery and the safety? That's a laser sight. Just leave it on for now. Next thing we're going to move to is our tactics. I'll try to make this short. It's a very long subject. For this particular situation, we're going to talk about how we move, okay, with our gun, okay, and how we move as a team. Okay? So I need one volunteer. Oh, there's my volunteer. All right, so we're going to talk about entering a room. Okay? How we move with a gun, I'm going to have you back up just a little bit. How we move with a gun is, it's not anything like you've probably seen on the TV. Okay? In reality, okay, this is your tool. Okay, so you're going to get in a semi-crouched position, okay, and you're going to be up and just like this with your head up. You're not looking down the sides. Your head is up. Okay, this is how you move. When you move, this barrel stays, and you don't point the gun back and forth. You move with the gun, okay, just like that. So if I'm coming around this bend, it's me and my partner here. I'm coming in just like this, okay, and I'm in position. Sorry. So individually, that's how you're going to move, okay. When you're working with a team, okay, I've got what they call point guard. You're going to, since it's just two of us, he's going to have to give a rear guard, somebody behind us, and our flanks. So my main job is to enter whatever I'm entering, and I'm coming in like this, and he's going to take all my cues is what he's going to do. So if I'm coming into a room, if I happen to see a zombie, if I don't pop it right off the bat, I might give him one of these, that's a hold. I might come to one knee, okay? And then from this position here, I can do whatever I'm going to do. If I'm going to go ahead and light him up, okay? That happens, it's a little more controlled situation. You might come into a room, right? As soon as you get into the room, it's right there. You might even be able to get up on target. So you got to come back, you might have to back out, back out. And then you come out of the room. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to talk about operating as a team. I went over what the point man does. I'm going to show you what the second person does. Okay? And this, we use the word point man. That's just to indicate the individual in the front. Okay? So from here, he's going to take a nice position. We're going to move along. I'm going to keep myself at a distance far enough, about an arm's length, so I don't come up on him and, caboose him, which is probably not a good thing. Okay? Give him about his arm's length. I'm going to be scanning left and right. I'm his security. Okay? I sometimes have to peer to my rear. So we're going to enter the room. As we enter the room, you're going to be right in behind him like this, but notice where my weapon is. Okay? I'm not covered down on the person. That's very important. Because when you get into a firefight, come on back, when you get into a firefight, whether something happens that's spur of the moment, your finger you might make that decision subconsciously. You might get your partner. Bad news. Okay, so from here, go down, get a nice crouch position, walk up, just like this. If I have to cross his body line, I can do that safely by just going like this. Okay, that's how you do it. Those are the two basic things that you're going to do. Now, you might work as a team of 4. Do I have time to go over 4? Does it matter? Okay. So this is a two-person team. On a 4-person team, you're going to have the same exact tactics. Okay. I'm going to have you, and I'm going to have you come over here. And we'll just pretend for now that you have weapons. So you're going to be pointed out this direction. You're going to be pointed over here. Okay. Like that. This is actually called, in actual terms, called the diamond formation. Makes a diamond. This is how we move in fairly large areas. You can't do this in tight quarters, but this is fairly large areas. Like say you're crossing a street as a tactical team, going into an alleyway as a tactical team. This puts us in a tight spot, and we can put a lot of firepower in just about every direction using this. Now the rear guard is the most difficult one because you don't walk like this. That's probably not a safe thing to do. So what I need to do is be able to move forward, but check my rear. Because I'm a righty, I'll probably be like this. So as they're going to move, you guys are going to move along with them, but you're going to be at a 45, you're going to be at a 45, and I got everything else. That's how a four-person team works. Okay? Okay, let's keep going. You can go back to your positions. All right, entering a room. There's a thing called a stack-up. Stack-up just basically means that this is the doorway. Okay, I need to enter this doorway. You can go stand on the other side of that. If I need to enter this doorway, right, I'm not going to just go in there and be like, because then you're going to be what they call the fatal funnel. You want to get shot real quick, walk into a doorway when you know you have somebody on the other side that wants to do damage to you. So we're going to do this professionally, we're going to do this tactically. So we're going to stack up. So you've probably seen this on movies and maybe film. They come in, they see them, there's a stack behind it. That's exactly what they're going to do. Me and Jamie here, we're going to be a team. I'm going to do a particular technique, which is what they call dynamic entry or direct action. But dynamic entry is probably the best way to describe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our own little communication system. Sometimes people use their hands, some people just look at each other. Okay? So I'm just going to sit there and give them a count of three, so I'm not going to. Basically means I'm going to button hook, you're going to go ahead and come in right off my tail. So we're going to be like this, I'll go. When we come in, you're going to enter the room. But he is going to wait a split second. He's going to come in right behind my rear end. Okay, so if we stand back a little bit, we're just going to imagine that this is the doorway here. So you just go ahead, when I give you the count of three, you're going to scoot in, but I'm going to scoot in right behind you the way we just discussed. Okay? So we're here, you're up. Okay, we're nice and tactical. We hear something on. Okay, we're going in. Okay. So he goes in, I'm right in behind him, just like that. Okay? You guys will be doing that. Any room you enter, that's how you're going to do it. Teams of two. Teams of four, same thing, only two other people are doing this, everybody's going at the same time. Rule number one when you enter rooms, the first thing you're going to clear the walls and corners. Okay? Those are the places that have the highest threat. Rule number two, you work your way from the outside in. Okay, so as you enter the room, if I came around the room, this is my wall. I'm going to scan my wall, inside corner first, checking for whatever it is we're looking for, and then I'm going to come into the center. Okay? Once we know that the room is clear, somebody's going to yell, usually the team leader, clear! Okay? Now we've established the room. Okay? This is our territory. So now we can move on. And that's how we're going to do it.